Good morning, folks, or good afternoon, I should say. Your professor, obviously, Francis Schmidt. We're going to cover some more modeling techniques related to subdivided surfaces, which is what we were talking about last week. I was at Little over the weekend, and I got some gummies because, I don't know, I just have a thing about gummies. Gummies have a lot going for them because, well, they're cheap and they're interesting shapes, and you can eat them if you want. So anyway, I got this mouse gummy here. I wonder how well we can see that. That we're going to look to model using some of the subdivided surface techniques we talked about. Let's go over here. We're in a model window. And again, you have questions you can ask. You can type them in. You can speak. I'm going to show you a couple other subdivision techniques, and I'm going to show you a big life-changing subdivided surfaces technology that will probably change the way you model, called home modeling. I'm in one mesh here. There's nothing in it yet. You know what? I'm going to put in what's called a unit solid, which is this cube. If I hold down my control key, see how that turns into the thing with the green ruler to the left and right of it? What that means is if I click it, is it will give me a 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter thing. So if I clicked it and I hit Shift and A, that should be that. Remember, I'm going to record this too. Okay, I hope that that's going to hold up. Maybe it's too dense. Keep an eye on it, okay? But either way, I have this cube here, which is where we'll start. And we'll cover a little what we did last week, which is point, edge, and polygon selection and manipulation. So if I select a point like that one there, I can move it like that. And I could rotate it. I wouldn't want to rotate a point, and I could scale it. I also would want to scale a point. What I might want to do to it is I might want to bevel it. If I grab it and I hit bevel, it's going to do that, which would seem kind of roundish if I let it be like that. As you see, these subdivision techniques always head towards a curved shape. It's still a matter of straight lines. It's just how many I'm putting in and how much they're going to approximate a curved shape. That's a level of 0 where it makes just 3 new points. I can enter these. I'm going to put a 1 in there. Now it's making, how many more points is it making at this point? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if I hit it again, if we go to 2, it will split each of those into 3. Good. And so on and so on. I could go up to something ridiculous. Remember, you don't want too much detail, obviously. And if I do that on an edge, we'll use the chamfer instead. I'll hit the Q key to drop that tool. I'll hit the 2 key here. I'll select this edge, and I'll right mouse click near it, and I'll get chamfer, and that'll let me do that, which has a different control called segments. I could go from as few to as many as I want, like that. And I could do the same thing with polygons, but we're going to do something different with a polygon. I hit the 3 key, I select this polygon here. To prove it, I'm going to right mouse click it, and I'm going to hit bevel. And what bevel will do is give me 2 controls. One control lets me move it in or out, and one control lets me inset it, like that. So I could do it like this or like that to add more detail to it. I also, how many, let's see what we can get segment-wise here. Yeah, I can play around with that. There's a bunch of other settings there. I'm going to show you another tool. I'll grab this polygon here and I'll right mouse click it. This is called an extrusion. An extrusion pushes out from something. So I'm going to take this polygon and extrude it. And in doing that, extrude on the Z maybe? Let's see which one you're going to let me extrude on. One of these should let me extrude. Oh, there we go. Aha. So you see it gives me that extra geometry there, which I can turn down or turn up. And again, I can inset it. I can do a similar thing with a bevel, obviously. I can also extrude things like edges. Select an edge, right mouse it, extrude. It gives me two controls. That pulls it out, and this makes what's called a skirt value, which is how wide the area is connected to it. I would think it could give me sections too, but it's okay if it doesn't. I think I can inset this as well too. Let's see what insetting does. Like that. Yeah, I could do that. And change that like that. And then actually maybe I want to scale that a little bit so we get it off the thing. And you see in all cases this is making new geometry. I'm getting close to something that is pretty valuable here, which is called bridging. Bridging is a way to connect polygons or to put holes in polygons. I'm going to select two polygons, hit the 3 key. I'm going to select this polygon, and I'm going to select this polygon. And I'm going to right mouse click them, and notice they face away from each other. And I'm going to go to bridge. Okay. We'll go with no segments. Although probably we should inset it a bit. Although let's just see what happens if we apply it. Apply. Bam. It punched a hole. Sort of an odd hole. I'm going to Control Z it because it doesn't really do what I want. Let me do this instead. I'm going to take this polygon here. I'm going to bevel it to make it smaller like that, and I'm going to pull it out like that. And then I'm going to take this polygon here, and I'm going to bevel it, and we'll stick it out, and we'll make it smaller too. And now I'm going to select those two polygons, and let's bridge those. Right mouse click, bridge. We'll give it a couple segments. Let's try like that, and like that. And you'll see it's now punching a hole with really strange looking geometry. As a matter of fact, I probably have to play with these settings. As you see, I can play with them live. Twist. Let's give it no twist. Ah. Okay. So you see it bends through there. It could make some pretty ugly geometry, which could be problematic. I should also tell you this. This is a really important thing. Every now and again, you should do what's called a mesh cleanup on your model. What a mesh cleanup does is it looks for a whole bunch of problems in models and fixes them. So if I go into geometry and I go to mesh cleanup and I hit OK, it found all those problems and applied them, which means this model should work better in the future. Let me show you a little bit more about bridging. I'm going to go to sphere, and in the same mesh, I'm going to make a sphere over here like that. We're going to give it some better detail. Quad ball it? Oh yeah, let's quad ball it. You see quad ball breaks it off like that. Oh, I like that. A level 2 quad ball is as good a place to start as any, I say. We'll push it down like this, and we'll put it in relation to each other. You saw me use a bridge to make a tunnel in something. I'm now going to use a bridge to make a bridge between things. We'll go down like that. I'm going to hit Q, and I'm going to select these two polygons facing each other. Let's take this one. I will bevel it. I'll pull it in a bit like that and push it out. And then I'm going to grab that one. And now with those two selected, I'm going to bridge them. Right mouse, bridge. And if we click in it, it should give us the, see that's an 18 segment. That's a 1 segment bridge, 2 segment. You see we can play around with those values. Once I click in it, twist, we'll twist it. Why would I want to do that? Well, it looks kind of cool, actually. I like that a lot. So I'm going to leave that. That's that's bridging between stuff. So now you've seen me take two primitives and face each other and put some tunnels in them and put some bridges in them. Okay. Now this is going to get big. All these techniques are software-based modeling techniques that add more detail, that make things look more curvy. The graphics card itself can subdivide things. That's a hardware subdivision. I have nothing selected right now. When I want to see what that looks like, with nothing selected, I hit Shift and Tab, and my model looks like that, which is all super curvy. See that? If I want to get out of it, I hit Shift and Tab again. And I can actually model in this mode if I want. I'll go into that mode, I'll select this polygon, I'll right mouse it, I'll bevel it, I'll pull it up like that. Let's give it more segments. Ooh, yeah, I like that. And I'll, you know what, let's select all of these. And I'll right mouse those, and I'll bevel all of them. And they'll all come out in different directions like that. But then watch this. If I do group polygons, it all comes out as one big one. I think I prefer it as a group polygon. And can we see the number of segments? Let's turn the number of segments down. Yeah. Okay. And if I deselect at any time, Shift and Tab, I can go back to what's called the hull, the actual shape of it. The only drawback to this is that it's very hard to get sharp edges, unless I can set the weighting of an edge. So I'm going to go to edge mode, hit my 2 key. Let's see if this will get a loop. Did that get a loop? It got part of a loop. We'll get this one and L it. I'll get this one, L, and I'll get this one and hit L. And now this is really important. If I'm in this mode, the subdivided mode, and I put my mouse pointer close to one of these edges, and I hit Shift and W, weighting opens up. If I click and pull now, I can decide how weighted that edge is. See that? That's no weighting. This is a lot of weighting. That makes a sharp edge. I'm going to keep it at that heavy weighting like that because that looks kind of cool. I can also do this with points. At the 1 key, I'm going to middle mouse select these. Middle mouse select those top points, so I have all 4 of them. I'm going to hit Shift and W, and you see that works differently. That pulls them very tight, just the points. I also can do it on polygons. Let's take this polygon and this polygon, and I'll hit Shift and W there. Ooh, that's kind of cool, right? Okay, I click back here and hit Shift and A and back out. And if I hit Shift Tab, we go back to that original shape. If with nothing selected I hit Shift Tab again, we get the subdivided whole shape with the hard edges on it. Another thing worth seeing, even this you'll see is made of straight lines. See that along the edge there? I can adjust that in the object if I go under Surface. We want to increase the subdivision level. I'm going to go to 4 and 4, and you'll see that's a much smoother edge now. It's still made of straight lines. It's just straight lines that there's more of them there, so they look like a curved line. I'm also going to run another mesh cleanup because I've done a lot of stuff to it. Mesh cleanup. Well, no elements to clean, which means it's okay. Okay. Now, let's say I want to apply that now to my mouse, which has like a tail hanging from it and this going on, right? Let's do a new scene. And we want to work in scale. So for this mouse, we'll start with, you know what, I'm going to start with a sphere. We'll go to sphere, we'll go to an actual globe, we'll put it at 0, 0, 0, 0, and we'll make it 2 centimeters on the X and 2 centimeters on the Y. No, 4 centimeters on the Y. 4 centimeters on the Y and 3 centimeters on the Z. And we'll give it fewer sides, 12 and 12. And we'll hit apply and go on in there and see what we got. Okay, I can work with this. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to eliminate the bottom half of it. There's a few ways I could go about this. This is probably the easiest way. I'm going to go to polygon mode with the 3 key, and I'm going to select all the polygons down here. If I double click, if I middle mouse click, I should say, it will select through, which is that lower half. I hit delete, and now I have half of that, right? I can fill in that bottom. I'm going to select part of that edge, hit the loop, and then if I hit the P key, it's going to make a new polygon for me, just like that. Okay, now let's subdivide that and see how close we are to our mouse here. Good, good. I actually can just tell by scaling I can get much closer to where I need to be. We'll push that out like that. Good, good. And actually the back should be flatter. That's easy enough to do. I'll select the polys on the back here, and I'll scale them. I'll spread them a little that way. Good. Good. Let's take a look at this from the top. Oh, it has to be wider too. You know what I'll do? I'll cue that, and let's, you know what I'm going to start to do? I'm going to start to do something called symmetrical modeling, so I can grab things on both sides. There's a button at the top here called Symmetry. If I click it, it will start selecting across a certain axis. In this case, it's the x-axis, as long as I modeled at 0, 0, 0, and I kept things symmetrical. X is the right axis. If I want to change it, I have to hit the Alt key and click it, and then pick a different option. For right now, I'm happy with it there. I'm going to select the stuff on the back here. Let me make sure that's good. We'll get those ones too. And now I'm going to translate that. Good, that's starting to get more like my mouse here. Okay, we got to get a tail off this mouse. I think we can do that with an extrusion. I'm going to try to make one polygon back here. Hit the 2 key, I'm going to select this edge. I'm going to delete it. Good. I'm going to take this polygon here, and we will bevel it. I don't like the way that's pulling, but that'll work. It's starting to get me a tail. Yeah, actually that's too weird of a tail right there. Okay, good, it's a start. I'm going to hit the Q key, and I'm going to select these polys around it, like that, and let's scale that selection. Like that. That's getting more like the tail I want to see. Okay. We'll extend it out. Which way should I go? You know what? Let's rotate this tail a little bit. Oh, you know what? I got to turn off symmetry. Symmetry can create issues if you leave it on too long. That's better. And now we're going to extrude that again. Actually, we will extrude it. We won't actually bevel it. Okay, it's pulling out. We'll do another extrusion on it. Modeling operations, extrude. And you'll see we're getting a tail there. Okay. My mouse. See how much we can get him next to that. If we zoom out enough. Oh, look there. He's pretty muchly done, right? Partially, anyway. I have to work on the detail and stuff, which I'll work on tomorrow, and I'd also have to harden some edges and things. But this has been a lot of modeling stuff. We looked at bridging, which is how you can take two meshes, the polygons are facing each other, and attach them, or if you take polygons that are facing out, it'll make a tunnel. We looked at extruding, which lets us push out points, edges, and polygons, and we looked at the Shift Tab Subdivided mode. If I go back in here, hit the A key, deselect, and I hit Shift and Tab, that's my actual model. See very few polygons. And actually, I can tell this needs a mesh cleanup. Geometry, mesh cleanup. Okay. And that fixed some things. And then if I hit Shift and Tab, it goes back to that shape the way I wanted it to be. Right? Okay. That's going to cover us right now. Let me step out of this.